Hello you, welcome to this week's Sex Clinic and Sexual Health Hub. I am Matt Valentine-Chase, the London Sex Coach. You can visit me at sexcoaching.london. How are you all doing this week? I hope you are fantastic, happy and healthy. Just a little reminder of what I said last time on the clinic. This is a tough month for mental health, but we are nearly in March. So hopefully things will improve for you if they haven't so far, and do feel free to pop me an email if you do need any support directly at the show. Only I have access to the emails. It's matt@bellsecretshow.com. And also you can ask me any question for the sex clinic. Okay, this week's question is, I am female and for the last few years I've either struggled to reach orgasm, or when I do it doesn't feel right, not intense at all, and it's not long lasting. I am not peri or menopausal. Can you help? Okay, so ideally you would really need kind of a full session with a sex coach or a sex therapist maybe to address it, simply because the technique I'm going to teach you does really require some consistency and aftercare. However, I'm going to teach it you anyway. Because I actually think it might be useful. It'd be useful for you anyway as a female. Also, there is an adaptation of it for men, which can help them to last longer. It's actually quite simple to do. The only reason why I'm slightly hesitant, but I will disclaimer it now, is that you do need to make sure that you're grounded after you've done the practice. Okay, but I will tell you what the practice is. This will be really useful for everybody. It helps you to last longer. When I say last longer, I know that's not usually an issue for women, generally speaking, but when I say last longer, it elongates, if you like, the orgasm, the intensity of the orgasm, and it helps the orgasm to be more holistic, as in you will feel it more in your body than just in your genitals. So it's really useful for you as female, and it's also useful for men. Okay. It is called the DIA. Good luck in finding information on it. It's very difficult to find. It was handed down by a really good energy practitioner to me many, many years ago. And it is an adaptation of Qigong, which is like Tai Chi Qigong. It's also called therapeutic Qigong exercise. Qigong just basically it refers to the energy of the body. And what we're doing with this practice is we are stimulating the sexual energy, which is what you're lacking in at the moment. But also what we're doing is we're bringing that sexual energy up the body so that it makes connections. It's a little bit like acupuncture, acupressure, but we're doing it in a different way, which I'll show you in a moment. But when you bring that energy, once you've stimulated it from the sex organs up into the body, you'll actually feel warm and tingly, and you'll just feel more like, oh, actually this feels really good. Then when you do actually have sex or masturbate, you should notice a difference. It is accumulative. Unlikely it will work after just one attempt. You need to keep doing it every day. Dead easy, okay? What you do is you'll be naked. No, I'm not taking my clothes off, sorry. You'll be naked. You'll sit on a chair like this. Oh, you can't see. There you go. Just a normal dining room chair. Feet firmly on the floor to begin with. Hands palm down. I am going through this quickly just because of time limitations. Hands palm down. To begin with, what you do is you squeeze your perineum, so it's like you're doing your pelvic floor exercise, but this is the same for men too. So you bring up the perineum, you tense it. I'm doing it now, okay? So what you're doing there is you're stimulating the sexual energy to a certain point. So you bring the perineum up and keep bringing it up. If you lose the hold of it, you just can keep squeezing it until you've really mastered that muscle, so that you can just keep it squeezed, yeah? So you're stimulating the sexual energy in doing this, but you're also bringing that sexual energy up the body, okay? So this is waking up the sexual energy, or also called waking up the chi. And this is all you're doing for now. Hands palm down, feet firmly on the floor, squeeze. Keep it squeezed if you can. If you lose that, let it go, then squeeze again, okay? You should be able to feel a little bit of heat rising up the body. Your face might even have gone a little bit flushed. So this is just the beginning stage, and the reason why you're naked is because now what you're going to do is you're going to get, if you can, your heel, but you're naked, and you're going to put your heel, don't worry if you can't do this, I'll give you another way of doing it. Put your heel on your clitoris. So you're going to, 1 foot on the floor, bring this up onto your clitoris like that. Make sure your feet are clean so that you don't introduce any infection. Yeah, you can even put some kind of foot socks on or something, but it will be fine as long as you wash your feet. So heel, clitoris, sitting like this, and you continue to squeeze. I know it sounds strange, but this is a really, really good technique. Continue to squeeze, and just that's all you do. Strange, isn't it, right? Then you relax, and then you swap, and then do the other heel on the clitoris, squeezing. And then you put your feet on the floor, and this is the very important bit. You then breathe into your belly nice and easily. And as you breathe out, you imagine as if you're pushing the breath down the body and out at the soles of your feet. So heel on clitoris, just for a few breaths and you feel that stimulation. Swap, other heel, clitoris, breathe, stimulation. Feet on the floor. Breathing into your belly and relaxing on the out breath, taking it down and out through the soles of your feet. And that's all you do. Now, if you can't bring your heel up, because there's some people going, I can't do that. Yeah, if you can't do it, firstly, you can practice to do it, yeah, and you will actually build that up. My flexibility is dreadful, and I can just about do it, yeah, to where my clitoris would be if I had one. Okay, so if you can't do that, then what you would do is you would just put a finger on the clit and squeeze the perineum at the same time, yeah? You're not actually masturbating doing that, you're just waking up that sexual energy. The important bit is that you're squeezing the perineum, so you bring that energy up the body, yeah? At this moment in time, it may not make sense. You might think, wow, this guy's nuts, but do just try it because it just works. It is accumulative, I will remind you. Every single day, you only need to do 3 or 4 minutes, okay? Now, the male equivalent of that is you would put your finger at the base of the penis and cup the balls with your other fingers and do the same thing. Squeeze, bring it up the body, relax. It's that simple, okay? So like I said, disclaimer, really you would need a session. I'm not trying to sell business there. I'm just saying, I don't want to be irresponsible because it's quite a big practice. But if you make sure that you ground afterwards, that's the important bit, breathing into your belly and grounding, that makes it much safer. It's a powerful energy, the sexual energy. So if we bring it up into the body, we need to know what to do with it. That is important. But I'm hoping that little bit helps. By all means, search online. I'm not sure you'd find much information on it because it's quite a not known practice. I'm very honoured to have had that handed down to me, but it's really good in your case for females, and then also for men there's a different version. But do feel free to pop me an email, matt@bellsecretshow.com, and I can clarify for anybody. Okay, fantastic. That was the sex clinic. Marvellous. Now, for the Sexual Health Hub. Okay, Sexual Health Hub this week, I'm going to talk about fetish and safer sex. Dead simple and dead quick, this one. Is fetish safer sex? This came to me a while back, right? And I was thinking, wow, if you kind of purely look at the exchange of bodily fluids aspect and the oral, vaginal, or anal sex, quite often that doesn't happen in fetish. And if it does, quite often it's using strap-ons, especially if it's mistress to male sub. So actually, the exchange of bodily fluids, I personally think, in fetish is far less. So as I'm pondering, watching Netflix, but thinking about this, I'm like, is fetish generally safer sex than vanilla? I would suggest yes. Obviously, there are other aspects of fetish, like blood play and stuff, which personally I don't advocate at all. I don't think it's particularly safe. But aside from that, tie and tease, spanky, bondage, is it safer from an STI point of view? I would say it is, especially if you're head to toe in latex. More difficult to catch stuff. Just a random thought from me, the London sex coach, on this week's Sexual Health Hub. Hope that helps. And I'm not necessarily encouraging you to deep dive into fetish purely as a safer sex option. Or am I? Anyway, thank you for watching this week. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you next week here on The Belle Secret Show. Take care. Bye for now.